holiday greetings from CBS Sports with a great lineup of events beginning Christmas Day. First, it's the Blue-Gray All-Star Classic, a top showcase for college seniors. Then, it's fast-paced NBA action as the red-hot LA Lakers take aim at the Phoenix Suns. Saturday, it's an exciting college football-basketball doubleheader. First, the Sun Bowl, where the Oklahoma Sooners, with the nation's #1 rushing offense, meet the tough Houston Cougars. Then it's NCAA basketball, when the Louisville Cardinals take on Ray Myers' DePaul Blue Demons, two top 10 teams in action. Sunday, top off your Christmas cheer with the start of the NFL playoffs, the NFC Wild Card games. Down the field and on the court, a great holiday package of pro and college action. Season's greetings from CBS Sports.
Welcome back to the news desk in New York. I'm Brent Musburger. Several ways of looking at that first half. That is a nasty, nasty football game over in the Meadowlands. I think the Giant offense, though, may have choked just a bit in the early going. I'm very surprised at Joe Danello. He has had an excellent season until he missed those 2 field goals, and it's beginning to look as though the only way the Giants can win it is with a pair of safeties. Now, as we come into this 16th week of the NFL season, 16 teams remain technically alive for the 4 remaining playoff spots. Some, of course, less technically than others, as you'll see from the classic confrontations we have on tap tomorrow.
Denver's aging Craig Morton hit Steve Watson with the season's longest TD pass play. But the Broncos, needing a win to clinch the AFC West title against Chicago, cannot count on big play miracles against that tough Bear defense.
We control our own destiny, and we just cannot let Chicago upset us and throw this stuff back into to scramble again with San Diego.
The Bears pasted Oakland last week. They are 3-0 against the AFC West this year.
It's going to be a great ball game. I guess that's the way you want to make it exciting, right down to the last quarter.
A Tampa Bay defense sparked by Hugh Green and Leroy Selman will be the key when the Bucs and Lions battle for the NFC Central.
If we can't convince our players to throw your bodies around and be very reckless in the game, Detroit will beat us. If we play up to our capabilities and such, we have an excellent chance of winning the football game.
Tampa Bay faces not only Billy Sims, Eric Hipple and company, but the Lions' flawless 7-game record at home in Pontiac.
That's why you play this crazy game, you know, to get in one game like this where it's you and me. You know, it's winner take all. This is it right here, right now.
Green Bay's title chances are remote, but the playoffs are within reach. This is a team on a roll. Lynn Dickey threw for 5 TDs last week.
We're going to have to play to the best of our ability because it's one of those do-or-die situations for them, too. They have to win to get in the playoffs, and they haven't been there for quite a while. So, like you've heard, it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out type of thing.
But the Pack Braves not only the Shea Stadium wind tunnel, but a New York Jets sack exchange gunning for the playoffs.
I think we have to just play like the New York Jets know how to play. Put points on the board and play the kind of defense we know how that's got us here. And we'll be a successful team on Sunday.
As you can tell, watching the first half, nasty weather in New York today. More of the same now is predicted for tomorrow's showdown between the Jets and the Packers over in Shea Stadium. And again, our coverage here on CBS will start at 12:30 tomorrow with the NFL Today. We'll take a look at all of those key games coming up. We're going to be right back with Jack Whitaker and Bob Lilly as the NFL Today continues on CBS right after these messages from your local stations.
Bill.
What?
That's my name.
Abandoned and institutionalized for 46 years, Bill was thrust back into a world that didn't care until he met a very special person.
He just needs somebody to just reach out and help him.
This is the inspiring story of a remarkable friendship and how it changed Bill's life. Mickey Rooney stars in what may be the most powerful performance of his career. Bill, a dramatic holiday special, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
That was pretty good.
This is CBS.
Do you think my husband has good taste? At the office, he's very traditional in his Van Heusen 417. But at the ball game, he opens his collar and relaxes. He really dresses up when we go out to dinner. But he feels real down home with country western music. He's a serious man at work. But at home, he gets a kick out of seeing me in his 417 shirts. Van Heusen 417, for men who are traditionalists, but not stuffy. What a changing America is changing into.
If your transmission ever breaks down, you'll probably imagine all sorts of horrors. fix your transmission, fine. We have a 15-year waiting list.
Don't worry, our mechanics are experts.
That'll be $22,000. 22.
Don't let your fears run wild. Call the transmission specialist that's fast, reliable, with over 900 locations coast to coast.
AMCO?
AMCO. Why go anywhere else?
All right, children. Who's going to be the first one to recite the alphabet? How about you, Ann?
A, B, C, D, E, F, E, F, E, F, Hudson. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen.
Secret Agents, tonight.
Immediately after the Giants and the Cowboys here on CBS, we have two excellent NCAA basketball games. Some of you will see Georgetown play the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and the rest of you will watch the defending national champion Indiana Hoosiers shoot it out against Kansas State. That's right after the football. Now, in Legends of the Game, Jack Whitaker looks at a man who was 6'5", 240, all the cowboy there is, and present at the creation of a dynasty.
These are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. Their roster is filled with enough stars to make a galaxy. And while they're heading for their 16th straight winning season and another trip to the playoffs, 21 years ago, the Dallas Cowboys were a winless expansion team filled with rejects and renegades.
For 5 seasons, this expansion team lost in every conceivable fashion, then invented some new ways to lose. There seemed little hope for redemption, but a young tackle named Bob Lilly remembered the turning point for Tom Landry's Cowboys.
You know, he just came in and his heart just opened up and he cried and, you know, tears came out and he got us all in there and he said, fellas, it's not your fault, it's my fault. And he said, I don't know if I'll be with the Cowboys next year. Tremendously emotional experience for all of us, and that was the turning point, I think, of the Dallas Cowboys. From then on, the Cowboys have been in the playoffs all but 1 year.
The emergence of the Cowboys as winners also marked the emergence of Bob Lilly as an all-pro tackle. There were more flashy and spectacular players, but none were more consistent. This giant slab of a man fell on opponents like concrete and played with what he called the heart for the game.
That's what I call heart, is the desire to get out there and play, whether you're hurt, whether you're well, whether you're sick, whether you feel good, whether you're behind or whether you're ahead, or whether you're playing a good team or a bad team. You know, it's to go out there and perform.
Lilly's individual brilliance was dimmed by the Cowboys' failure in championship games. In Super Bowl V against the Baltimore Colts, number 74 starred, but personal triumph paled before another bitter last-second defeat.
What were your feelings when Jim O'Brien kicked that field goal in Super Bowl V?
Of course, I think that was probably the most frustrating point of my entire career. We had never made it to the Super Bowl, and we didn't know for sure that we'd ever make it back because it was pretty hard to get there the first time. And all those thoughts went through my mind, right through my helmet quite a long ways, and I almost broke a finger off doing it. One of the Baltimore guys brought my helmet back to me a few seconds later after I threw it and said, Bob, I know how you feel. Well, but it probably helped us as a team to get a little tougher mentally and come back the next year and do it.
In Super Bowl VI in New Orleans, Lilly and the Cowboys crushed the Miami Dolphins 24-3. Lilly roamed and raged across the Sugar Bowl, and his 27-yard sack of Bob Greasy was the longest loss in Super Bowl history. The championship was a historic first for the Cowboys, but firsts were nothing new to Bob Lilly.
He was the Cowboys' first draft choice, 7 times All-Pro. He was the first Cowboy inducted into the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, and the first Cowboy enshrined here in Texas Stadium in the Ring of Honor. He is Bob Lilly, Mr. Cowboy.
He was something, wasn't he? But you know, the mark of a great organization is the ability to replace a Lilly, as the Cowboys did with a Randy White. Now watch the Giants, because they too are putting it together with the defense. There's George Martin on the sack. Now, the Giants should have scored. On their first possession, Johnny Perkins simply dropped a touchdown pass. Rob Carpenter plays with a lot of verve. He's added a great deal to the Giant attack. And again, on their second possession, the Giants should have scored at least a field goal. But for the second time, Joe Danello misfires. Now watch here, back from the end zone, White to punt. I told you it was a nasty game. Anthony Dickerson would prefer to have this entire sequence back because he just barreled on into Leon Bright, knocked him completely out of the game. Giants were going in a third time. Ike Forty will fumble, though, and another scoring opportunity for the New Yorkers goes gurgling down the drain. Now, Irv Cross has been standing by out there on the sidelines, cold like everybody else. Irv, how are the Giants physically now? Will Perkins and Bright be able to come back?
Ben, I tell you, it's been a tough first half for the Giants. Let me give you a brief injury report as I have it right now. Leon Bright, as you indicated before, hit by Anthony Dickerson on a punt return, out with fractured ribs. Leon Perry, a possible fractured fibula, and Johnny Perkins out with a sprained left ankle. It's been a tough first half for the Giants, but I was standing by the Giants sideline on the injury to Bright, and there are a lot of angry faces over there, Brent. The second half will be a real humdinger.
All right, Irv, thank you very much. And right now, let's go back up to Pat Summerall and John Madden for that second half. Pat?
All right, Brent, and I think you could tell possibly that from the way Irv Cross was looking and is dressed, that it might be colder now than when the game started and could get even colder than that. This, of course, is John Madden again with me. And, John, how about the weather?
Well, I'll tell you, it's tough to play out there. You know, it's tough when you throw into the wind, that's obvious, but it's also tough when you throw with the wind. You know, Danny White has only completed 4 passes in the first half for 32 yards, and Tony Dorsett has carried the ball 9 times for a 1.4 average. Now, that's great Giant defense, but when the Cowboys don't get Tony Dorsett running or Danny White passing, they're in trouble.
John, Ray Perkins quickly said that if he was close in the fourth quarter, he thought the Giants would win. What do you think?
I agree with him.
We'll see.